In February 2026, the University of Toronto redesignated a long-standing multi-faith praying center to a Muslim-only center. This place would have water treatment facilities known as the ablution facilities, which is a requirement in Islam where people have to wash in a specific order before they pray. Here's my raw, unfiltered, organic perspective as an ex-Muslim. Here it is. Muslim-only praying center. It's for Muslims only. What does that mean? When you hear something like that, does that bring anything in your mind? Are you like, I wonder why they would do such a thing? It's supposed to be inclusive. It's supposed to be multi-faith. It's supposed to be all people. Why would they do that? Well, the logic, as you see on the screen, it's been used by Muslims for a very long time. And because it's been used by Muslims for a very long time, we already went ahead and designated it after long consideration and talking to the community and whatnot. We went ahead and did it. So it's not that we actually didn't know. We were overwhelmed by population and we did not know what to do. They kept booking the area for themselves. They just kept using it for themselves, that the minorities, the other people, the Christians, the Jews, the Buddhists, whatever, whoever, it's multi-center, dude. Multi-faith center. These people we didn't know what to do, so we just stepped in to give you the optic of we are in control and we're the ones who made the decision, when in fact it was straight up stripped away from us and we didn't know what to do. So what happens to these other students of other religions that were using that space? It was a bigger space for everyone to use it, so the Muslims went in there and took it. Straight up, that's exactly what happened. It was a big space that fits 20 to 30 people, so the Muslims went in there and took it for themselves. What happened to the other people? And what's up with the multi-faith, bro? Isn't that supposed to be a thing? Aren't you supposed to be modeling the multi-faith inclusivity of all of us together, all one human being, global or no? Isn't that supposed to be a thing? Why did you fail? Why did you fail us? So you're saying that it's okay to have so many of a specific religion known for literally doing this, known for takeovers like this throughout history. You're saying, yeah, it's okay. And then when they take over, you go in there and you frame it like, it's always been your decision all this time and we've designated it officially. Because if you didn't designate it officially, it would look bad on you. So you went ahead and did what's worse and you designated it officially, excluding other students that are not Muslim. Wow. What did you do? You also gave money to the renovation of the place, to the water facilities, to basically make a literal mosque within campus. That's what you did, University of Toronto. So exclusive, not doing what is right. Standing up for separation between governing people and religion. Not using tax money obtained from the government for education, for academia, to establish a religious mosque. Not using the tuition of these students to contribute to the budget of renovation and setting up and establishing this Muslim mosque within campus. Just imagine going there to the University of Toronto, paying money to go there, getting in debt to go there, and then having the university take away the place from you that's supposed to be a multi-faith center, telling you go somewhere else, using that money to start a mosque. Ding, 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 ding. Like literally, dude. Literally. Crazy, bro. Crazy. Anyways, what does this mean to us? What it means to us is that the slow takeover will happen. I am telling you, bro. I'm the ex-Muslim who's been through it, escaped it, and now is telling you this. The takeover will happen by overwhelming population. Whatever happens in academia, by the way, gets translated into corporate life, into legal professionals, into medical professionals, into governors and statesmanship. That's what it does. Where do all our leaders come from? They all come from the academia and the Ivy League and all of that and whatnot. So if the universities are partaking in such flawed examples and they're not being held accountable for it, then they're just going to produce bad fruit, the fruit of the poisonous tree. Are we going to do anything about it? Are we going to start voting correctly? Are we going to start thinking with our own mind instead of our own ideals? Thinking in realism? Throw away the ideals when shit gets real? Is that what we're going to do? Or are we just going to say that everyone's here to have fun and everyone's here to to whatever. There's no immigrants that commit crime. There's no religious takeover that ever happened in the history of civilization. We should just live on our lives without any consideration like that. What about the students that were told to leave? What about those? What about their exclusion? Is that inclusive? So you're taking the side of one specific religious group over the other? And that is the failure of the pluralistic dogma, dude. This ideal. I'm telling you, people, this ideal, I was shocked to be in the West and to see that. I thought I was liberal. When I first came in, I was like, yeah, I like the Democratic Party. I'm liberal and blah, blah, blah. And then I started realizing that I have no place among the political left because of what I've gone through. To my own surprise, I realized that the right and the moderates are way more understanding and more realistic than the left, which tends to rule a lot of academia and a lot of what academia produces. They're as exclusive as my country of birth was, which is a majority Muslim country, Arabic-speaking country. They're just as exclusive as that, which is very weird. It's very, very weird. And then just to realize that this new study by NCIR in 2026, recently, 67% of people on the left, the respondents of the people on the left, said that it was somewhat justified to unalive political representatives that they don't agree with. 67%. Now, maybe that was a flawed or biased study that a well-respected institution did. Maybe that's the case. Or maybe it's real that the road to evil is paved with good intention, right? It's paved with good intention. It's paved with inclusion. It's paved with whatever. They tell you it's inclusion, and then they go ahead and exclude you and give it all to a specific religious group that overwhelmed them. They lost. They lost to them. They were like, oh, by the way, we are giving it to them. You haven't given shit. That's what you have not given shit. It was taken away from you. That's what happened. Now you're coming to us telling us about like, oh, we're gonna give it to them because it's been used by this community for a long time. Bro, they took over and you couldn't say anything. And what does their article say? It says nothing. They'll just go use some other place somewhere around here. So if your schedule on campus dictated that you do that, that's good for your psyche, that's good for your spiritual life. You go to this building that was multi-faith. If that was like your schedule, that's your route, that's your walking route, that's where your classes are, you can no longer have that. Do you think something else will happen in Canada? Do you think they'll like say no? Do you think that they'll do something about it? Hell no, they won't. They'll just give them what they want, dude. They'll give them what they want. It's the tyranny of the majority. That's what it's called. It's called the tyranny of the majority. Interesting. Okay. Tell me this, what would happen? Okay, let's treat this idea, this sample of what happened in the University of Toronto as a potential mirror of what could happen in public life and in government. Let's say a group of people decides to go live in a specific area and call it Repic City, right? Let's say they go and they live there and they start having their own homes and they start working from there. They have their own neighborhood and then that neighborhood builds and then there's another neighborhood and then there's another neighborhood. And now they have their own town. What do you think happens in a Muslim majority town? In the United States, they have the right of self-governance. So it's like using your rules against you. They go in there, they cluster and they start changing the fabric where it becomes enclaves within the empire. It become an enclave within the empire. It's totally separated culturally, by the way. Tell me, why is it separated culturally? Because they can pass their own morality laws, right? They can make it illegal for you to purchase liquor. That's okay. That's being done in other counties, and that's fine. Can they make it harder for you to do something else? They could make it illegal for dogs to be present in public. They can make it taxable for you, or with a fee, you have to pay a fee to have a dog and take care of it. They could frame it around public safety and self-governing logic. They could do that. That's what they're trying to do. They're literally trying to say that dogs, pets, cannot be in public. Should not be in public space areas. Should not be in parks. Shouldn't have your dog there because we're just not used to it. They're dirty and they're like whatever and we're allergic. When in fact, Islam says it defiles you. It's menace. Your prayers are not accepted if there's dogs around you. It's called najis in Arabic. Defiled. They defile you. What else can they do? They can make it very hard for non-halal restaurants to operate from there. They could agree not to process pork or have bacon. So do you see what I'm saying to you? It starts small like that, and then that enclave is there. It just becomes there, right? Forget about going anywhere you want in the world. You're in your own country. You're just dressed whatever you want. You're in the summer, right? You want to wear specific shorts and a bikini or whatever it is. You want to walk, you want to have a drink in your hand or whatever it is that you want to do. While you're passing by this area, you cannot do such things, okay? While you're passing by this area, you're going to have a dog. Your dog stays in the car. You can't take your dog out on this walk. Okay? It has a lot of implications to the establishment of these enclaves. Like we said, a state, a society is supposed to be coherent. They're supposed to be together. But we were told that it's always, we're enabling these things. We're enabling this separate segregation because we're being together. We're being nice to each other and we're being pluralistically managed by our nerds. When in fact, they implement segregation, dude. When they can't handle it, they implement and fund this segregation. It's takeover. Tell me, is that what you want? Do you want that to be a safe haven for specific things? Specific people that can do stuff and go there? You want to have a compound like they had just caught in England of this religion? The Shia religion group that had slaves and was accused of all these horrible things? It's like 500 police officers raided this place. Literally this last week. Is that what you want, my left-leaning friends? Think about it. When that happens, who do you ask for help? Woo-hoo! It's the hillbillies. You are asking the hillbillies and the right bigots for help. Straight up, that's literally what you're doing. If something bad happens, who goes there? The anti-gun law people? No, bro. It's going to be the people that are like, First Amendment rights, baby, and beer drinkers, truck drivers. These are the people that are going to go there. These are the right people on the political right. I felt like I had to do this because I had to talk some sense out. It feels so hard to be someone from that background and to experience enlightenment and to value the separation of religion and governing people and to value the establishment clause that we have, for example, in the US, the best place in the world. To value all these things and then to suddenly come here and to see that the liberties and the people that associate with liberties, liberal, the people that associate with inclusivity, these are the people that are falling for the lies of political Islam. They're falling for the lies of the major Dawah guys, Islamic evangelism. They're falling for the lies of inclusivity. They think that they're being inclusive and they're being so nice and being so welcoming to others and whatnot, but what they don't know that they're being exclusive to the others at the expense of that fantasy of theirs that they have. You could literally be a good person inside your own people, bro. You could be a good person inside you don't have to import fucking millions of people from some random countries that you don't know anything about, that don't even have an integrated, unified criminal record. Places that are literally known for struggling with psychiatric treatment. Places that are known for culturally considering psychiatric treatment to be a taboo. Places that prioritize holy water and then psychiatry and medicine. Places that don't have records. I'm telling you, you don't have records of who's going on, what's going on, what mental conditions do they have, what's blah, blah, blah. You're choosing to bring all of that jazz in and to support that under what? Under inclusivity and under all that. The same dogma. Does that give you like a moral high? Put you on a pedestal that you're like, oh, you're not being a bigot. You're not being like where you're from. You're being like something special. Is that what it makes you feel like? Crazy, bro. I say we ought to be aware of what's going on. We ought to be real. We ought to hold on to our standards and not let the nerds win. Don't let the nerds lead you, dude. Do not let nerds lead you because nerds are good for certain things. Okay? Do not let an idealist lead you because an idealist will wreck you up, bro. They will fuck up your world and your economy and everything that you know about. They have zero reality. They're not street smart. They're not aware of what's going on in real life. They hold on to this worldview of theirs, this ideal, and they just want to implement it. Don't let them take over, bro, because look at what happened to Europe. It's like fucked up right now, bro. It's like not even recognizable anymore, dude. They want to come here. Why do they want to come here? Because they let nerds rule them, bro. Straight up. So don't do that. All right, I'll talk to you soon.